I don't know if I'm live yet. I'm waiting to go live. Should be live at this point. Having a little bit of difficulty. Sometimes that happens, but we're live now. Oh, I need to put the description in. Put a description in the chat for you guys. Today we're talking about did he do it? No, 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 no. We're talking about did he kill him? That's a little bit. Did he do it all right? But we upping it a notch because Diddy definitely did some things. Diddy trafficked. According to the court of law, that's what he did. Now, of course, you can have questions about that. You can say, what do you mean he trafficked? What does that look like? So let's dig into it while I'm waiting on my co-host for the evening. So what did he do? Well, we know one thing's for sure. I got an echo in my headphones. I know that too. Cause I got just want to mute this so I don't have this echo in my ear. So we're gonna get into this. So let's mute this so that it's not driving me bonkers while I'm trying to talk to you guys. You see something? Do I have a little bit of muscle? Got a little bit of muscle? Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, I'm joking around with y'all. We're about to get into this. So, did he or did he commit murder is going to be the topic for the day. And I would say probably. I mean, did he get away with it? Or did he commit murder is going to be. Sorry, I'm checking with my team. Good to have a good team with you. So, as we dig into this, right, we have to go way, way back. Well, let's start with what's going on now, and then we'll go back, and then we'll come back forward. Let me ask you a question. While we sitting here waiting on everybody to come in, what does it mean that he got convicted of 2 counts of the Mann Act? What is the Mann Act? These are the questions that you have to start with. So he got convicted of the Mann Act. He got off on RICO. They said, RICO? Wait, y'all trying to put this dude in jail for the rest of his life because he had wild sex nights? Yo, wildin', you're bugging. Oh, because he was doing drugs. Yeah, he was a menace to the street. Wait, he didn't go in the street with the drugs. So they're looking at the jury is looking at the prosecution like, what is your case? Now, according to ICE, who's going to be here a little bit later, it might be a little deeper, but I don't have those industry insights like he has. So I'm gonna let him tell his story, and I'm gonna tell it from my aspect, from my end. So when you're asking, did he do it? One of the first things you got to ask is, who did he traffic? Well, first, my bad, I lost train of thought. You got to ask, what is the Mann Act? So the Mann Act is quite literally bringing somebody over state lines for the purposes of engaging in prostitution. So if we cross the state lines, if we go from Nevada to California and brought somebody over the state lines, and it was for the purpose of engaging in grown-up activity and money exchanges hands, you've committed a felony. You've committed the Mann Act. That's the Mann Act. He was flying people from South Carolina to, like, he was crossing mad states. He was doing wild stuff. So hold on. Let me put this in the chat room. A discussion of no about Diddy and what he is really guilty of. How about that? That sounds good. I can rock with that. I can live with that. Let me just make sure I spelled everything right because I'm typing with the microphone in the way. And then we're gonna. All right. So we know he committed the Mann Act, which is like, oh my God. So he, you know, dealt with prostitutes. Does that make him a bad person? Some people might be like, well, he's guilty, isn't he? That's what the Fed said. And he is guilty. He went to jail because he was dealing with these women. They didn't say he beat on them. They didn't say, well, I mean, he did beat on them, right? We know that for a fact. We saw what happened to Cassie. Oh, look at me. All right, let me get myself together here and be a respectable host here. Sorry about that, ladies and gents. So, oh man, see, I'm getting fat. Sure, it's not. Well, actually, I'm getting muscular. Sure, it's not fitting me the same anymore. Anyway, so you're like, yo, he's going to jail. He's going to jail because he prostituted girls that he was dating. Granted, he was sleeping with them and he was hitting them off. So my problem with that is I'm guilty of the Mann Act. I've dated women. I've done a thing or two with them. And yes, we've crossed state lines. And yeah, I might help them out with their bills once in a while. What? Wait, hold on, time out, baby. You need a little bit of help with rent. You need a little help with your cell phone bill. All right, let's go to California. Let's go to Disney World. Let's go to Great Adventures. And I'm living in New York at the time. Like, let's do some stuff. Let's not sit around the house. I'm guilty of them. And it's my girlfriend, not some whore I picked up off the street. I'm helping her with her rent. I'm paying her cell phone bill because that's what Diddy was accused of. Helping women with their rent and crossing state lines with them. Not for the other sex workers, smex workers that he engaged with. Because if they had got him for that, then it would have been like, well, he was kind of hiring prostitutes and shipping them, bro. Like, I mean, I don't know if you should go to jail for the rest of your life for it, but maybe that's a crime. But when it's your girlfriend, the woman you're dating, the woman that's talking about she love you, she want to marry you, she want to have your children, should you be convicted of prostituting her? And that's what they got him for. That's what he's in jail for. That's what he's serving time for because he prostituted his girlfriends, girls he was dating, women that wanted to spend the rest of their lives with him. They're like, well, he had other girlfriends too. Oh my God, he cheated. Oh, I guess he belongs in jail for the rest of his life. So, what was he in jail for? What? Let me make sure that my guest tonight is aware that I'm in motion and that we're moving because I'm already starting to get into this. Like I'm feeling this conversation. We're gonna call him right quick. Oh, he done called me 4 times. Give me 1 minute, everybody, because we about to. So that's what he's in jail for because he was convicted of Cassie. Yeah, I'm my bad. I was running a little behind. I was having a little issue, but I'm in, so you can come on in. I'm already tap chopping. As soon as you come in, we start. I'm gonna resend you the link and I'm gonna get back because I got people in and I don't wanna bore them listening to our conversation. So I'm gonna send you the link and I'm gonna handle my biz back, my biz. All right. Sorry about that. That is my co-host. Well, not he's my guest for the evening. I just want to make sure that he's in and understands because he has the inside scoop. The reason that Ice Water is such an amazing guest is because he was in the industry at the same time as, and he was signed. He was a hit artist at the same time as Biggie Smalls. I think he was before Tupac. Heavy D was at the tail end of his. Craig Mack, him and Craig Mack was in at the same time. These people were in with him. So, and he rubbed elbows with him. He dealt with him. He know things that I couldn't tell you. So we want to deal with somebody that has that kind of history. That's the kind of people I want to talk to on my show. So we're talking about this Mann Act because, you know, that's what he's guilty of. So Cassie, we saw Cassie got her behind whooped. And I ain't making fun of that. I got daughters. I got a daughter that's the same age as she was when she got a behind whooped. Let me tell you something. I might have mentioned this a couple of times. But if it was my daughter, you ain't got enough bodyguards. I'm coming to see you. I'm not feeling that. And I pulled up the wrong email because I got the questions in the email, so I don't have to go on my phone. I pulled up the wrong thing. That's all right, though. Did I copy and paste the wrong thing to myself? Oh, somebody sending me money that they owe me. I love that. That's always a good thing. Let me just resend it to myself because it does look like I sent the wrong information to myself. I sent it for my next show. Because for those of y'all that don't know, I'm covering the Epstein trial. And we got a lot going on there, let me tell you. We got a lot going on here too. Because even though everybody's thinking that things have slowed down, that he's in jail, blah, 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 blah. And it's right to think that because things have slowed down, you know, he's awaiting his sentence. And what is there to talk about? There's a lot. There's a lot. Because I didn't have a receipt. I didn't send it to myself. Because what he did versus what he got accused of. The reason he didn't get accused of the Mann Act, even though he was outright guilty of the Mann Act, this man did it. He shipped these girls, but not his girlfriends. Yo, got him for shipping his girlfriends. Yo, got him for shipping his girl. Yo, he paid her rent. He's guilty. What? Yo, listen. If you're a female, if you know a female, if you've ever met a female, surely not like, oh well, I'm going to date this ultra wealthy guy and I'm not expecting him to pay for anything. Sean Combs wasn't the most handsome man in the world, bro. Sean Combs got his because them women wanted the money. And I'm not saying that that's okay, but I'm saying, when have you ever seen anything different than a rich man getting women who want them for their money or what he could do for them? Y'all gave him the Mann Act for that? For that? Y'all wow for that. But he did do some things. Or I would like to know if he did some things. There have been accusations about this man for many, many moons at this point. Accusations such as, ready for it? Murder. Accusations that he shot people. Not his guards, not that he, I mean, there's accusations from everywhere from, I just sent the wrong thing to myself again. How is that possible? I just copied and pasted it. I apologize. While I'm waiting on this dude to come in. Accusations from him wanting to kill people to he did it. Like, that's what we want to know. That's what I want to know. I don't know what you want to know. I'll tell you what I want to know. I want to know if he actually did it. I want to know if he's guilty. Now, what would he be guilty of? I hope my guest comes and he's taking too long. I really want to get started. He might be having trouble, and I hate when that happens. I was having trouble also. What am I going to say, right? I'm going to say, bring your black ass in here. So I'm going to say, I should call him and see if he's running into trouble. Because I don't want to make y'all wait too long before we get into the where this gets interesting. And this does get interesting rather quickly. So I'm gonna give him a call one more time. And if he's not in, I'm gonna get started because I'm losing people. Y'all are not. Give me 1 second. Let me, because I'm gonna start getting into this. In the meantime, hold on. Let me 1 second. You having difficulty? Yeah. Are you having difficulty? Because
Yes, I didn't see no get in. I didn't see it.
I'll resend it. I'll resend it. All right. Okay. My guest for the evening is having problems signing in. I just resent it link to him so that perhaps he can come in. So now we know what he's accused of. He didn't do RICO. Was he a drug dealer? So here's the thing, right? They was like, yo, if you give drugs to somebody, regardless if you accepted money for it or not, you're distributing. Regardless if they wanted it or not, regardless if they asked for it. So if I'm like, yo, you gotta hit this. I got a federal distribution charge? No, no, no. Not accepting that. That to me sounds a little off. That sounds a little wild. Like that's not something that somebody should be going to jail for. So what else did he do? He's done a couple of things. So that was the RICO. RICO was racketeering, influenced, corrupt organization. We've gone over this on a couple of shows now. Everybody know what an influenced, corrupt organization is, right? You know what the influence is? That means the whole sway over something. We know what corruption is. That means you're doing something that's against the law. Organization, business, enterprise. Most people didn't know what racketeering was, so I explained. Racketeering is when you're doing something corrupt for profit, right? So why wasn't Puffy guilty of racketeering? Because he wasn't profiting off of it. Unless you call, getting some profit. But if we're talking about a financial profit, he wasn't racketeering. And since racketeering influenced corrupt organizations who RICO is, he didn't commit RICO. So if he didn't commit RICO, where do we stand? What's going on? Where are we at? Why are we doing this? So the question becomes, what is he guilty of? And somebody's asking me to do something for some money. I like money. It's a money time thing, right? So, me 1 second. Anyway, sorry about that. So now we got to look back in his history. What do we see when we look back? Well, when I look back, I remember when Puffy was on top of the world. I mean, bad boy, I'm old. So hold on, I'm sorry. Ah man, I'm trying to talk. We got business to take care. We got to get into this. So what do y'all remember about that? I don't know how old you are, but let me tell y'all about hip hop in the 90s. Hip hop was at its peak. We were vibing. Yo, you couldn't walk down the street without hearing two rappers going at it. The streets was buzzing. You had people breakdancing in the street. You had MCs battling and circles forming around them. Like, yo, you could be a rapper and you walking down the street, you doing your little bop, boom. You run to another rapper and it's on site. Now y'all spitting bars back and forth. And the crowd starts to form around you. Yo, there's another rapper in the crowd, he's jumping in. We call this a cipher. You got somebody in the crowd, they're gonna start boxing. So this was the 90s. You know what I'm saying? With ciphers and breakdancing and graffiti everywhere. Because you can't get on the train, you can't look at a wall. They tagging stuff. There's graffiti everywhere. You know what I'm saying? This was the 90s. This is the era. This is where Puffy blew up. He got rappers under him. He had Craig Mack. Introduce a brand new flavor in your air. Brand new flavor in your ear. He had Mary J. Blige. I'm not trying to do an imitation of Mary J. Blige. Then he had this rapper called Biggie Smalls, who came through and crushed everything. You heard everything. So Biggie Smalls comes up. Wow, a Biggie Smalls song. They call me Big Papa. I can't even think. I can't even do a Big Papa. Anyway, they did some. So he had Biggie, and then and he came up with Heavy D. Heavy D was like the peak of the 90s. Like hip hop was lit. And then what happened? People started dying. Heavy D. So there was a basketball game. I believe it was a celebrity basketball game. And this is before Bad Boy really peaked out, right? So we had this basketball game. And it got shot up right in Harlem. And money disappeared. Many suspected that Puffy might have had something to do with it from the stories from the street. I want to give a disclaimer. I wasn't there. I don't know nothing. I'm just hearing what they saying. I'm hearing this, and I'm reporting what the streets are saying. My ear be to the ground like, I want to hear what's popping, right? So, according to the streets, Puffy might have had something to do with this basketball game being shot up. Rumor has it, allegedly, rumor has it, gotta go with this alleged. Rumor has it that my dude Heavy D felt like he was involved with it. So they're questioning it. Then suddenly Heavy D is dead. So now that Heavy D is dead, that's one, right? Question started forming. Was Puffy responsible for the death of Heavy D? But that got swept under the rug. That was minor. It wasn't, but it was, but it wasn't, but it was. We move forward. We go forward a few years. Now he meets this rapper named Tupac Shakur. Tupac, talk about an artist. Tupac was the man. Tupac was the man in ways that you don't understand. All the women loved Tupac. The dude was a hardcore rapper. He was strong with it. You know what he wasn't? He wasn't a wordplay guy. He wasn't a wordplay guy. He was a lyricist, but his wordplay wasn't that strong, straightforward. But he spat lyrics that touched your soul. Like, he was a poet. The man was a godsend to music. And while he's doing that, you had another rapper blowing up at the same time by the name of Biggie Smalls. Came off of Craig Mack's Flavor in Your Ear joint. And he took over. He had the hottest rappers on the East Coast on this song with him. Brand new flavor in your ear. It was a remix. He had LL Cool J. He had LL Cool J on it. And he came through. Nobody knew who this dude was. He came and stomped them all out. His verse was wow. You're Busta Rhymes. I don't know if y'all know about Leaders of the New School. You're Busta Rhymes on that joint. Biggie just came through and cleared the site. He took all of them. Fast forward a couple of years. For some reason, now Pac's going to check Biggie in the studio, Biggie and Puff in the studio. It's a little studio in Manhattan called Quad Studios. Giving y'all the history, I'm giving y'all the rundown, telling y'all what got us here. This is important. Pay attention. So Pac runs up in Quad Studios. He's trying to catch his people. They yelling out the window, yo, come on up. So Pac enters the building. He gets on the elevator. And rat-a-tat-tat, they shot him up in the elevator. Yeah, pause for a second, let that sink in. So there's another time Pac felt like Puffy set him up. His beef with Biggie was, yo, how you knew I was getting set up and you ain't say nothing? So he was like, you know what? Screw both of y'all. Then he kind of got caught up in some sex stuff. He got locked up and he got rescued. He got bailed out by Suge Knight. And he was like, you know what? F the East Coast. And he went to the West Coast. That was the beginning of the East Coast, West Coast beef. I want to pause here. Where we at? Let's review. Let's rewind a little bit. So far, now he's got Heavy D. Pac was shot the first time. Pac feels like it was him. It's all Puffy now. Y'all paying attention? Let's keep going. Now we got now the East Coast West Coast beef start. And this beef is hot. It's going. It's East Coast, West Coast wars. Everybody knows about that beef. It was the biggest beef in hip hop history. You had a lot of battles, but this is the biggest beef. So Biggie and Pac going at it. Battle was crazy. Who shot you? Who shot you was like the hardest. Rumors have it wasn't even written for the reason it was used, but it ignited. Biggie Smalls, they said that Biggie Smalls didn't even want to do it, but Puffy pushed it. Not only did it ignite the East Coast, West Coast beef, it made it explode. And Pac retaliated. He was talking about sleeping with Biggie's wife. How you talking about sleeping with a man's wife? Him and Faith got caught in photos together, hugged up in a club or something like that. Faith was Biggie's wife. So it lent credence. Why am I getting hit up right now? Oh. It lent credence to the claims that he was sleeping. And you know that was a problem. You know that was a problem. You can't be talking about that kind of thing. So what happened from there? The beef exploded. But Biggie was a different kind of dude. Biggie was like, yo, I'm going to squash this. I'm going to California, and I'm going to sew up this East Coast, West Coast beef. It shouldn't be like this. Tupac gets shot again. Now, why is that important? How does that have to do with anything? There's a man sitting in jail right now by the name of Keefe D. Keefe D is a West Coast gangster, gang-affiliated, like, straight up street dude. My dude said Puffy paid him to kill Tupac. Something to the tune of $100,000. So this man is sitting in jail right now based off his testimony in a book that he put out saying that Puffy Puffy paid him to kill Tupac. So this man's testimony was strong enough that he is sitting in prison for years on a murder charge for killing Tupac because Puffy paid him allegedly. But the prosecution didn't bring any of this up. So now hold up, let's rewind. He shot Heavy D. Oh, sorry. Allegedly, he killed the rumors in the street. The streets are saying he might have killed Heavy D. Tupac got shot the first time. Tupac said he did it. Tupac got shot again. Keefe D is saying he got paid to do it. Now it's starting to sound like racketeering. Hold up, how did he make money from Tupac dying? Okay, so maybe it's not racketeering because he ain't make money. Maybe it's whatever charge it is when you conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit murder, I believe is the charge. So now we have two shootings and an unaliving that might have been done. And yo, we're still only in 1997. Afterwards, Biggie still went out to the West Coast. Now rumors is happening that he didn't want to go, but Puff was like, yo, come on, we can do this, we good. I got your back, nothing gonna happen. I'm got security, blah, blah, blah. One of Puffy's old security officers, a man by the name of Gene Deal, has been quoted as saying, and I've seen him say it myself, he's gone on talk shows, he's talked about it, that this was obviously a setup. That is no way, the way it went down, Puffy wasn't responsible, according to Gene Deal. Allegedly, I don't know, I wasn't it. So this is what's happening, right? That's a pretty scary thing. So he got pulled. It's the same thing happened to Tupac. And what happened to Tupac was, they stopped at a traffic light, looked over, his man was there, they shot him at the traffic light and pulled off. What happened to Big? They took a different direction they were supposed to go. They stopped someplace, they shot him at the stoplight. Nobody was in the car with him. There was supposed to be security in the car with him, according to Gene Deal. So, so the rumors are that, well, you got to follow the money. Follow the money. Who stand to gain from Biggie dying? It's Jay-Z, because Biggie was the king of New York. The king of New York, I want to be it. He was the king of New York. He created the title. After he was gone, the Prince of New York, he was literally the Prince of New York. Jay-Z was literally Biggie's son. He was not his son. He was his son's son. For y'all, those of y'all that know what that means, he was his son's son. Means he was like over him, he towered over him and looked down on him like a little brother, even though Jay's like 6'5", nobody towers over Jay like that. Anyway. He was metaphorically in the game over him. You would know Jay-Z's name if it wasn't for Biggie Smalls. Facts. So by Biggie leaving us, Jay-Z had to gain. Who else had to gain? Well, nobody in Puffy's label could shine gain, because Shine took over, or was going to take over. We'll get to Shine in a minute. For those of y'all that don't know about Shine, we'll discuss Shine. So nobody in Bad Boy, the label that Puffy owned, that blew him up, that you wouldn't, that made all the music for the top songs for the 90s outside of Wu-Tang on the East Coast. Shout out to Wu. Biggie was stopping a lot of people's money. They couldn't eat because everybody wanted to hit big. So nobody, like, you had the Locks there. The Locks had some lyricists. There's only two of them. Styles P was nice, but Jada spit bars. Yo, Jada is one of the nicest MCs to ever live. When it comes to bars, him and KRS One. That's it. But I digress. So this is all about Puff, right? Who gained the most? Big died. Puff wrote a song about it, something about missing him and all that. And that was it. He blew up. Now Puffy's a rapper. Before he was just dancing in the background. Now he's a rapper. He can bring other rappers out. So now where we at? I want to take a look at the list to make sure I got everybody that we're supposed to be looking at so far, because this is a hefty list. Like, so far we got, just want to make sure we got everybody. We got Heavy D, we got Craig Mack, we got Tupac, we got Biggie. Got a list of people that this man was supposedly responsible for. Where is my guest at? Like, I'm halfway through the show and he's not here. This is not what it's supposed to be. Let's take a look. Not that I'm not enjoying being the man on here, but I would like to bring in somebody who was in the industry that can tell you a little bit more than I can. After that, we fast forward. Oh, hey, what's going on, baby?
I've been trying to get. I don't see it
You don't see the link? Look in your messages. I sent it to you as a message.
right now.
So while all that's happening, that was 97. Fast forward 2 years fast forward only 2 years to 1999. Now he's dating Jennifer Lopez. They chilling. Watch the timeline. 2 years later, he with J Lo, Jenny from the block. Whoo hoo. So what goes on with Jenny from the block, right? They go to this club. They're hanging out. He's with one of his artists named Sean. Sean was supposed to be the next Biggie. He had a similar voice to Biggie. His lyrics weren't quite as tight, but he was trying to try and use Sean to blow up. You got to come on, man. They're not gonna be able to hear you. Got to come on. All right, so him and J Lo and Sean are in this club, and some beef jumps off. Something happens, and somebody shoots a young lady in the face. I believe her name is Natanya Harding, and everybody peels out. The club bounces. They bounce out the club. Everybody gets away. Shine, his artist, is arrested and claimed that he's the one who shot her. She's like, nah, he ain't shoot me. It was Puffy. J-Lo, I don't know nothing. Now, question, how did he get the gun in the club? Anybody ever been to a club? Let me tell you something. Men, we get frisked down. I bounced at clubs. I can tell you, I'm tapping. I'm making sure you ain't got nothing. You ain't getting in the club. Now, I ain't going to say that sometimes bouncers ain't paid to get sneak something in. I don't like when that happens if I'm working the door because something go down inside. Now we don't got something and they got something inside. I don't let nothing in, but I haven't done it in 10 years. I digress. But generally speaking, when somebody wants to sneak something in the club, they give it to the woman because they ain't getting tapped down the same way. I mean, we check them, but a woman's going to be the one to sneak it in. Here with Jenny from the block, she doing block stuff. She got the gun in. Allegedly, my assumption, I'm guessing. I'm using deductive reasoning. This is a critical thinking channel. So they're in the club. They's like, Natanya gets shot. She says Sean did it. No, she says Puffy did it. Sean says, I did it. Sean goes to jail. He's in jail for like 7 years for shooting her in the face. 7 years later, Sean comes out. And then gets deported. He's like, yo, hold up. Puffy promised to pay me if I took the blame for this. But he's the one who did it. I did the time so they would pay me afterwards, and then he didn't even pay me. So Sean got deported. He's a politician now in this country. He's doing well for himself after serving time for a murder he didn't commit. Natanya didn't die. To this day, she's still saying that Puffy's the one that shot her. So let's go through this list. So far, we've got Heavy D in order. Heavy D in the early 90s. Craig Mack later on. Then by 95, I think. Then by 97, we got Biggie and Tupac. And by 99, we have Natanya Harding. Now, I want to bring y'all back to the case that we're dealing with. And I want to state why this is so frustrating to a bunch of people watching it. So now I just named 5 alleged. This is what people from the 90s wanted to see. When we wanted to see this trial, we wanted to see if he killed any of these people. That's what we were watching to see. What we got instead was they watched the sex tapes. What in the blue hell are you talking about tapes? We don't care what kind of orgies this dude was having. Did he kill Tupac and Biggie? Did he unalive? My bad, you got me upset. Did he unalive Tupac and Biggie? Later for ICE is now in. Yay, I'm not by myself anymore.
Control.
All right, I'm hanging up. You know what to do. Now y'all about to hear it from an industry insider's point of view. Hey, all right, let's get it. And then we got a lot to talk about. But I definitely, while I was waiting, wanted to point out the reason that he probably got off. And the reason he probably got off is because during the peak of his career, so many people were dying around him. And I just gave you a list of high profile people. Heavy D, Craig Mack, Tupac, Biggie. And then he was in a club with J-Lo from the block when Natanya was shot in the face. And J-Lo was sitting next to him. Yet, J-Lo was never deposed. Nobody asked J-Lo what happened. Booty ain't that fat. I want to know what happened. Mind you, now he's having these wild parties, right? He's having these crazy hotel nights and freak offs. Guess what? Guess what? He was dating J-Lo. What you think was happening? How you think Jay was giving it up? Okay? Yeah, J-Lo definitely on a tape somewhere. It's 100%. There's no way she's not. I know. I'm a J-Lo fan. J-Lo's on the tape. No, I allegedly, my suspicions is she was dating a guy who did that to every woman he dated, and he was dating her. Maybe she's on a tape, but I digress. All right, you got to turn your microphone. Oh man, all right, you got to turn your microphone on. You got to turn your camera on. I'm waiting on you, baby. Microphone and camera. Let's get it.
Can you hear me now?
Ah, I'm hearing you now. Oh, see that? He got me. He got the chain on his neck. Like, all right.
Say,
Welcome to the show. All right, we're going to get started because I didn't even get started. All the stuff I was rambling about was stuff that y'all needed to hear. We're going to touch on a little bit of it also because let me introduce Icewood. Well, first, welcome to the think tank where we use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased and logical conclusions. Today, I'm here with my guests, music. Oh man, the word is eluding me. I guess industry insider, a man who is signed with Warner Brothers and other record labels, who was in the music business at the same time as some of the people I've named, like Heavy D, like Craig Mack, like Biggie. I don't know if you were in at the same time as Tupac blew up, but I know you had a hit song at the
I,
same time
yeah,
as
I was in
all of the
there.
people I just named. Oh,
I was in there.
you was in there with Pac as well.
Yeah.
So with all of these '90s legends, this man was up there in there with them mingling. He wasn't with Bad Boy. Bad Boy tried to sign you though, right?
Yes, they did.
So he knew a little bit about Bad Boy. It's a smidgen about Bad Boy. It's a pinch.
A little pinch. Just a pinch.
All right. So you was in there with Heavy D too, right? Oh, that was
Yeah.
before your time.
Nah, he was there.
All
They were
right.
all there.
So I was recanting what happened in the '90s.
Right.
What do you recall about Heavy D and that day in the park in Harlem?
I know they had a function and all them kids got killed in it. They had too many people in the club. I know that.
No, not the club, the basketball game.
Oh, you talking about Rutgers?
I am.
Well, Rutgers, that's something that been going on before we was even on the planet. And it turned into a money grab because they were betting on the games. You had Diddy's team, or rather, Heavy D's team, and then you had Jay-Z had a team, and some of them were bringing in top pros to play. So it's just one of those events that happen every year. Um, will I say there was some shooting out there? Probably. I got to talk like I don't know nothing. Um, I could say a lot of them was Daddy on Kedar's people, you know,
It was
because
what?
because they lived right down the block from where Daddy O had his brownstone in Brooklyn. When I used to come over to the studio, people like Biggie would come through, Little Kim and them would come through. Um, a man from the group, Funny How Time Fly, he came through. A lot of big time people were coming through. Um, Even political people came through. Elias Shabazz, she came through. That's Malcolm X, one of his daughters. She came through. Um, so it was a busy time, and I have to say that did he did he do it? No, he didn't do it. But he's in the pickle right now. He's in there.
I
Hmm.
that was the basketball game. What do you remember about 1997, the fateful night in Las Vegas when Tupac?
Got shot.
Yeah. No, hold up. Before that. I
Hmm.
mentioned Quad Studios. What you remember about that?
Well, that was a situation whereas Diddy's people had to know something for them to press up on Tupac like they did. Um, I don't know if he knew it was gonna go down because he's not that street smart. He knows certain things, but he's not that street smart. So when they pressed on my man Pac, they were there with intent. The intent was we're gonna get paid and you're gonna give it up. Um, as you've seen in the documentary, as you've seen in the movies, he was upset at it because he felt that the people that were upstairs knew more than what they let on. I would say this: when something like that happens, you don't know everything that's happening. I think he he just let it get him 7:30. He wasn't he wasn't thinking rational after a while.
What was that, Pac?
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't. I was supposed to meet him up in Queens. They had something at Roy Wilkins. It was a, I was supposed to go see him. I didn't go see him because I was upset at him because I felt that you went away and you came back instead of you holding your head and being calm, you was going 7:30. So,
Well, they say he was R-worded in prison, rhymes with grapes.
mhm.
So that would have made me a completely different person.
But sometimes it depends on the person because
I don't think I could handle that.
when I came home, I didn't come home being big biff, big cheese, none of that. I came home with a direction, but I didn't come home with my brain swollen up. That means you was 7:30 before you went.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, he was an emotional man,
Hmm.
and his wordplay, I was saying, wasn't the greatest, but
Right.
his lyrics carried power
Yes, it is.
because he was able to emote. He was able
Yes, it
to
is.
make you feel by putting his feelings out there.
Hmm.
So that 7:30 is that he was, or 8:30, or whatever the hell, whatever time he was on, was why people felt him so much.
Right, right, right. I'd say that it's like in Malcolm X movie when the so-called white lady came up to him and asked him for some questions. How can we help you? And he said, "You can't help her. Help me." I'll say this: if I can go back and speak to Pac, I would have said to him, um, "Calm down. We riding with you. Calm down. Don't spaz out." Because I'll tell him I went to jail for something that I didn't do. I didn't come home to be a monster. I came home to keep a clear head. And you need to keep a clear head. But you know what? It goes back to how he was taught. His mother instilled all that in him, whether it was right or wrong. she made a power king, and he blew. I felt that if she would have told him the truth about a lot of things, the way he would have dealt with his life would have been different. But she was, like they say, a lot of times a woman can't raise a man, but you got a woman raising a man, but he's she's gonna make him like she wants him, not how he should be. And that's why I feel that he got off the rocker. He was emotional because he was around what? Women,
Women.
right? That's right. And
Wow.
she told him her insight, not the insight, her insight. She was,
And this is why we hear what Ice. You see that? Yo, I couldn't tell y'all none of this. I'm sitting here learning this and hearing it for the first time like y'all are. Yo, thanks for coming, Ice. It's always a pleasure having you here. Thank you for coming. All right, so that was the first time he got shot, right? That was the first time he got shot we were talking about.
yeah,
So then the
at
East
the
Coast
studio.
West Coast beef broke out, right? Because of
Right.
that. Like he thought the people upstairs knew something big was on the people upstairs, and
Right.
it was on and popping from there.
And it wasn't even like that.
I
And
mean,
what I
Puffy might
found
have had something to do with it.
what I found out that he been knew his dad. He always knew his dad. His so that was a lie that the mother told him. Because if you look just like me, how can I not say to myself, you look just like me? Are you sure you're not such and such?
Word on some. We watching a movie like, yo, hold on,
Mhm.
time out. Are you my dad? Like,
Yeah,
yo, a kid is naturally gonna ask questions.
yeah.
That's how kids are.
You're gonna walk around like a knucklehead that know nothing and they look like you? Something. That means your mom's had your brain in a vice grip. You couldn't see.
Mm.
Like my man said, you can't see. Wow.
I
And and when you see the pictures of his dad, they look exactly alike. Different complexions, but they look exactly alike.
I never
So,
checked it out. That's interesting.
so
So,
go ahead.
so he was basically the person he was calling his dad was what's his name, who was locked up because he tried to break out what's his name out of prison, break his aunt out of prison.
Right, right. Well, that was his stepdad, or the person that
Right.
that stood in to be a dad. But
Respect.
his real dad was around him all the time.
That's that's
He went to his dad's house. They hung out all the time.
I didn't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, he knew, when I say he knew him, he knew him. He knew him like that fat booty that you used to talk to. You know it.
Yo, why would she keep that from him? Why didn't he say something? Yo, that's a weird situation.
I know being adopted, I was adopted. Um, when I asked about my what's wrong, because the kids used to make fun of me. You know, your mom's got gray hair. All our mothers got black hair. I had came home and I was I was like a kid. I was like, what's wrong? Anything bothers you as a kid. So I went and I asked them, and they told me straight up. So it wasn't
Mm,
something that, like my man DMC. He didn't learn that he was adopted too. He was grown.
wow.
I learned that I had to be about.
Just for y'all who don't know, when he says it's his man DMC, he is, yes, talking about from Run DMC. Just for your records.
I would have to say I learned it. I was about had to be about 7, 8, about that age. And I'd say this: it was a bad thing for me because it flipped my brain. Because everything I thought was real is all illusions now. All the Christmases that I really was in it as a kid. Once I learned that, I started looking at them like, y'all knew this all this time? And everybody, you're looking at all the people around you saying, I run and go in my room. I became a
So I'm gonna have to look at this from a different perspective. This is way off topic, but I think this is engaging enough that I don't mind talking about it, digging in a
Mhm.
little deeper. So, as somebody who would adopt a child,
Right.
a reason I wouldn't want may not tell them immediately that they're adopted is I
Hmm.
wouldn't want them to feel that they're any less loved
Right.
because they're not biological.
Right.
Especially if you raise a child, they're your child.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
the biology don't isn't what makes a child a child. You
right.
know.
I
With
mean,
all right, I do want to get back onto this Pac stuff, but that was woo, that was an unexpected twist. All
so
right, so Pac got shot and unalived in 1996.
hmm
He was chasing some dude around the casino, ripping
hmm
off his shirt, ready to fight him. They jumped the dude.
hmm
Is this the kind of this was the local he was saying that Pac was feeling?
hmm
He was out of his mind with it.
yeah. And
So why did they connect his unaliving in the car when he was sitting next to Suge Knight to Puffy?
that one, you can look at it many ways. You can look at it like it was a hit, and somebody didn't care if he was gone, or you can look at it like you shouldn't have been there, or you can look like, don't you know you from New York City? You acting like you from West Coast, but you're from New York. So you don't really know the rules of the game like you think you know. Because a lot of them got cats out there, they'll play like you're down, but you ain't really down.
That's a fact.
And
That's anywhere.
when it jumps off, you was there holding the bag. You know, you was there holding the bullet. I mean the bag. You know, and that's crazy.
It's not my whole thing. It's not down everything. My baby girl. Mwah.
Yeah. What can you say?
Woo! You giving the game up.
And like everybody else, when it happened, I felt it. It bothered me because I had a connection to him. Um, man, listen, I'm gonna drop some true strong stuff on you. Me and my brother's name is named after the two of the people that was down with the Black Panthers. Anthony is his name. My brother's name was Anthony. My name is Lamont after Lamumba Shakur. His name Anthony Shakur. We were born in the Bronx. Me and him was born in the Bronx.
Wow.
So, who's our parents? I have to put that out there for inquiring minds to know. So when
Wow.
I was going to see Tupac in the jam, I was going with the intent that, yo, man, you might be related to me. You acting crazy, man.
Damn.
So, and that's one that we can say will never be. We will never know.
Sorry
But
to hear that.
what I said, my brother's name was Anthony. Anthony Shakur. My name is Lamont. And they had a document. It was in one of the magazines. I forgot which one, and they was talking about the two twins. That was me and Aunt. They was talking about us. I remember when they was little kids. They were so cute and all that stuff. I don't see them no more, but I remember them. So on the other side, on the flip side, if I'm crazy, why is that saying stuff about me? I was born in the Bronx, Lincoln Hospital in the Bronx. Then I
Wow.
was adopted. Then I came to Queens. No, actually, we came to Brooklyn. Then we came to Queens. So I don't know the Bronx like I would have knew it growing up, but that's something that stuck in my mind all these years. And we're talking
Of
about it now.
course.
We're talking about it now, and I never forgot what I saw in that
How could you forget something like that?
in the magazine.
I forgot that I was adopted and that this might have been my brother or my cousin. What?
Yeah,
Bro, that's
yeah.
more powerful than anything else I've ever talked about on this show.
And like I said, I had an opportunity to go out to California. Um, I had a choice to have my album listening party in New York City or LA. I chose New York because I had a lot of friends in New York, and I know a lot of them couldn't go out there as far as airfare. So I took New York. Had some people out there that wanted me to stay with them. Um, nah, I was New York, so I said I'm gonna take it to New York, baby. But what I say to you, I never said that to nobody. But I'm telling you hear that, I never said it. I, time goes on, you forget certain things, but it came up to when we was talking, and that's the truth. That's not no fantasy island stuff. It's not.
Wow.
You know,
Wow. Now
you could
that
say, you could,
exclusive.
you could say, yeah,
I
you could
need
say,
bells or something. I need to make some sound effects for this because stuff like that.
yeah, you could say that I'm fantasizing. Eh, no, I don't smoke that stuff. I don't sniff that blow. I'm straight headed every day. So
Yeah, I
what I
know.
put out there,
All right, let's get back
question.
into. All right,
That's the
so
huh?
let's get back into Tupac. So, wow, that was powerful. So, do you think Puffy might have had something to do with it? You explained why it might have been done on the West Coast, by the West Coast, for the West Coast. What are the odds that we follow the money and it leads the trail right back to that trial that didn't?
Oh, the diddler.
Yes, sir.
I'll say this, and I've always talked to my friends about this. I said, yo, man, you got to realize Diddy is not the most talented person. You know, he may
He
have,
can dance.
he must have, he could have bought up a lot of track that he bought up, but all he did was copying. But as far as him as an artist, I don't know. Uh,
Yo, I defy anybody in the chat right now, to name bar, one bar from Puffy. While I check out what's going on in the chat. Hey, Crizzy, welcome back. Yeah, we're about done with the hip hop history. Super Bowl betting. I don't know what you're talking about. Kids are mean. Kids are mean. That's something that anybody from New York could tell you. That thing about adoption is dope. She says you are 1,000% wanted. That's how adoption works. That's dope. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna take Chrissy's question and ask it because it is something that's on my mind. It's off topic, but it's up on my mind. How would you have been related to Tupac? Would it have been your cousin?
on that side, because a lot of people used to always say, y'all got similar looks. And I know as a person, my stature, my height is around the same height, same build. So you take it from there,
Charlotte says you dropping bomb. Yo, she ain't lying. You dropping. Yo, you making this chat lit.
you
You
know,
making it lit.
all I can say is that if I'm fantasizing, ask yourself this. As my man says, why ask why? Why ask why? I'm not a
Robin said Diddy's lawyers must be sweating watching what we talking about.
and check it out. You know my style when it comes to lyrics. My style. My style. I can sing. The difference from him, he can sing, but he can't sing at a high pitch as I can. But we both did that melody stuff, different ways, but the same way. We both did, but just a different platform or a different vocal accord. But We both did it.
So Robert wants to know, he's saying that Diddy literally got away with murder. And
Uh,
I'm just gonna do a quick recap.
mhm,
There was a rapper named Heavy D that he had gambling in a park named Rutgers in Manhattan that he used to bump a lot. Like a bunch of people was involved, Jay-Z, whatever, whatever. The park got shut up one day and the money turned missing. A bunch of people died. Speculation from Heavy D was Puffy was behind it. Heavy D ended up dead shortly afterwards. Word in the street is Puffy may or may not have been involved.
mhm.
We went
Well,
to Biggie. We went to the first time Tupac was shot at Quad Studios,
mhm,
where Tupac said Puffy was behind it. Then
mhm,
we went to the next time Tupac was shot. That's where we're at right now.
mhm.
And well, Ice is saying that it might have been people from the West Coast and he might not have been involved.
Or it could have been paid, and whoever was paid traveled to wherever they had to go to do what they had to do. We can't always say,
Well, Keefe D said that he got hit off with $100,000 as a paid off hit from Puffy to kill Diddy. He's literally sitting in prison right now for testifying and admitting and writing a book about killing Tupac and being in the car when Tupac was killed. He said his nephew did it. His nephew's no longer with us. He said
right?
he was in the car with his nephew when his nephew shot Puck, when his nephew shot Pac, and they got paid $100,000 from Diddy.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that too. And
So, but yet, okay, and then afterwards they went out there and Biggie was going back to Cali, you know, and what happened there? Biggie got shot. Gene Deal, security guard for Puffy at the time, he was moonlighting. He was also some sort of police officer, I believe. He was not a correction officer. He was a
probation.
parole officer for the state,
Yeah,
probation
right.
officer, yeah, for the
Yeah.
state. Oh, you on it? Okay, I see you.
Hmm.
Little homework done and all that. All right,
Hmm.
you get a check plus. Yeah, so he's a probation officer for the state, and he was moonlighting and he was like, "Yo, the way it went down, nobody was in the car with Big. They went a different route than they were supposed to go. They
Hmm.
stopped someplace they wasn't supposed to stop, and he got hit then."
Hmm.
So the way Gene Deal tells the story, and this is an officer of the law, it looked like a setup.
Yeah, if you look at the way that Gene Deal even said it, you're supposed to have security around him. And
Thank you,
what
Emily.
to allow this guy to ride down the street with no security is something strange. It's strange. This is your money bag. You want to allow your money bag to get washed?
No, there was a line of cars. There was more than one car, but for some reason there was nobody in the car in the car with him. Like you're right though. Like it sounds like no, right, nah. Yes, justice has been blindfolded. I mean, it was yes. So Chrissy brought up something very interesting, and it's something we've talked about on previous episodes. You've been in the music business, right, Dice?
Yes, sir.
You've been to a industry affair once or twice, right?
Yes, I did.
What did she say? Were there gangsters in music as far as you knew?
Well, when you're walking around, you don't see them.
The lies you tell. The lies you tell. You don't see them.
You don't see them. You just mingle.
Okay. So you might pass by the guys holding the guns in the wall as you walk past, but you know who they are, though, right?
You should, because I was in it. I was in Nokia Theater with the Fugees,
Okay.
and I know they had some light work around them.
Hmm.
I was
Did you
in
walk? Did you
another.
have? Did you have people around you?
Nah, no, no, no. Matter of fact, stop lying, Ice. Yes, you did. Daddy O and them made sure I had some light work around me. They did.
All
I
right. So that's
didn't.
just how the business work. So do you think back in the 50s and 60s they had it like that? Do you think they had security and guys with guns around them in the 50s and 60s? In the 40s and the 20s?
Yeah, it had to, because you had goons around from the beginning.
Let me ask you a question. So if they didn't, what do you think would happen to the artists? Exactly. You say it anyway.
I was gonna say, Big Red.
Okay, so you mean to tell me you can't walk around with a bunch of jewelry and money and nobody mess with you if you don't have somebody around you with weapons? So they had to be there. Is that what you're saying?
Some people, yeah. It depends on how you carry yourself. Some people will walk around with it and they're not worrying about nobody stepping to them. Some
Because they
people,
have their goons with them. You ain't walking around like that by yourself.
because when I used to hang out with Prodigy. Really, I mean, really ran with him.
Yeah,
We
no, your
went.
prodigy was dope.
He used to tell me stories that when they did their videos, he'd have fools gold on. He wouldn't even have real jewelry.
Smart.
You know, he would get it.
Smart.
He would get it. What you call it, insured. You know,
So Prodigy, would you mind telling the listeners who don't know who Prodigy is?
Prodigy is one part of the group Mob Deep. He's the
And
one
what song was Mobb Deep known for?
shook ones. Um, night nighttime vultures.
Shook
I
Ones was their big hit though, right? That was the one that everybody was on Shook Ones.
and
You're
you
not
have
a crook, son. You're just a shook one.
then you have Survival of the Fittest. So they made a lot of good records. Um,
So yeah.
Unfortunately, sickle cell helped bring them out, take them out of here.
All right, so let's jump back on this Puffy. So we fast forward. So Pac got shot. Biggie probably was set up by Keefy D says he got paid. They got paid to kill Pac to
Mhm.
unalive Pac by Puffy.
Right,
Big Gene Deal, a New York State police officer, swears, or probation officer, an officer of the state, swears that Biggie was set up by Puffy, right?
right.
All right, let's fast forward to the next one. That was 1997. 96 for Pac, 97 for Biggie. Let's let's move forward. There was another nightclub incident. I believe we touched on this a little bit. I spoke about it before we really got in. Let's get into it. Let's get into this. So
Mhm.
Natanya Harding was in a club
Mhm.
with Puffy, his girlfriend J Lo, and his rapper
Hold on.
Shine.
Isn't Natanya Hart? Wasn't she an ice skater?
Do I got the wrong name? Oh, I got the wrong name. Hold on.
Because
You're
I'm
right. You're
saying,
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Her name is Natanya. I'm getting confused. Natanya. I want to get the name right. Sorry, everybody. Let me see if I can get her name right quick. Natanya Rubin. From Harding. Natanya Rubin.
okay.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you for catching me on that. And she was the one who um did the thing with the thing to the man's thing. Natanya did. I'll never forget her. No. She was all right. Anyway, Puffy. Natanya Rubin was in a nightclub with Puffy, his girlfriend J Lo. He had the bad. He stayed with the baddest chicks. He had J Lo on his arm. Kim Porter at home,
Mhm.
allegedly. And he's in with his rapper at the time, dude named Sean. Sean, he had a voice like Biggs.
Mhm.
His style wasn't quite like Biggs. His lyrics were definitely not as tough as Biggs, but he was dealing with at that level.
He was passable at that time.
Yeah, but everybody knew that wasn't big.
Mhm.
he didn't have it. He didn't have it. But he was the replacement for the label. So something went down at the nightclub. Want to tell us about that? What you know?
After night, that one I really can't talk about because I was not there at all. It's hard for me to give an
All right,
insight on it.
boom. So according to the reports, Natanya Rubin was shot in the face. We went over this. I'm gonna skim through it quickly. She said Puffy shot me in the face. That's what it says. Puffy shot me in the face. Sean said I did it. Sean said I did it. He testified to it. He went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And Tanya to this day is saying that it was Puffy. Sean gets out of jail 10 years later and gets shipped off to another country. He got shipped home. He was deported.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we know about in today's society. He's like, yo, hold up, wait. It's not fair. What's not fair? Puffy said he'd pay me if I took the blame, but Puffy did it.
Yeah.
He deported him, and that was it. So we have all these people that were unalived and shot. When Tanya Rubin didn't die, she got shot in the face. She got a bullet in the face to this day. They couldn't get all the bullet out. Now, we come to court, and we want to see what Diddy did. And what he got accused of was having orgies. He had a lot of sex. I mean, sex to the point where they needed IVs to rehydrate afterwards.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of sex.
That's
That's crazy.
extreme.
Whew, they literally needed IVs. Literally laid on IVs for days afterwards. I mean, they had cocaine, they had pink cocaine, they had weed, they had alcohol, they had pills for Sting Strong, they had Adderall and they had ketamine, and like, yo, these were parties that you and I don't care which one, all we're down from the 3,000 we had, all of you. None of you want a party like that, I promise. So he went from
only people that would have loved the party like that would have been ODB and Rick James.
Word. ODB might have got it in with him. So what is it like when he's in prison now? We spoke on this. You want to tell some of the people that might not have heard what it's like when he's in prison at right now?
Well, I know one thing. What time is it? He's locked up in the cell. It's 10 o'clock. He's locked up in the cell till tomorrow. He doesn't get out to daytime. So that means,
you think he's gonna serve some real time?
Excuse me?
Do you think he's gonna serve some real time?
I don't think so. This is more of a warning than anything. Because I was looking at Diageo, that liquor brand, and all the brands.
Look, explain how Diageo connects to Puffy.
He was actually some kind of way making a deal with them. And
okay, just for those that don't know, Diageo owns Smirnoff. They're the people that made Smirnoff. You know what else they made?
Bailey's Irish Cream.
Made Bailey's. And what liquor did they make that might have been connected to Puffy?
Ciroc.
So Puffy didn't own Ciroc.
No. He was like a front boy. He was just
He's a promoter.
He was a front man, spokesman.
Basically, it's called brand ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember the words myself. So he was a brand ambassador for Diageo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he made all them billions of dollars, right?
Right. And I'm hearing that he don't have all that $1 billion no more.
$500 million.
Because
that's what Kanye dropped down to, and now he's back at billions. So.
Mm-hmm. So
you don't think he's gonna serve no real time?
No, I don't think so. They had to warn him. Listen, this is the last time warning you. You don't listen this time, you going to the booty house with Big Biff, Big Isaac, Big Curtis. They're waiting for you. So calm down. You got what you got, and that's it.
So Spirits is a massive business. This is the oldest mob in the country. They're from old Italy. They are not to be toyed with. He cost them. He
Mhm.
cost them.
Mhm.
He cost them $22 billion.
Right.
22 with a billion dollars with his
Mhm.
nonsense, which is why they got angry at him. He was only worth 4 billion. He cost them $22 billion. So they got tight with him, and that's probably why they're you know, moving the way they're
So
moving.
that's right. They want to put him in
So
the place.
try it one more time. Kind of like what I'm talking about. Let me say it to you one more time. It's kind of like what I'm talking to my daughter. So there's other rappers in the game that are in similar places now. You got Fat Joe, you got Jay-Z, you got Kanye. They even going after other people. They got Shannon Sharp, they got Tyler Perry. Like they're going after a bunch of people right now for the exact same thing. Do you think this connected?
They all under one umbrella. That's all you can say. They're all under one umbrella. And you have somebody at the top, or a team at the top, that pull the strings. That's the best way I can say it. I can't tell you they're doing it, but you know, you be a wise man on this, and you can find out.
So what do you think about the fact that Kanye and Diddy are now making an album together? Like you said, he's not very talented. Kanye, like him, don't like him, that dude's a super beast. That dude spit. That dude is wicked with the tongue. His pen game is impeccable. But he's doing a song, he's doing an album with Diddy. What do you think about that?
Well, Diddy, the dual album with Diddy, you wouldn't have to do all the work.
Yeah, that's 100% fact.
Because if he's not using auto tunes or somebody behind him, it's minimal. So good luck.
Why would Kanye do so? Here's the question. Why would Kanye, now that he's back in billionaire status,
Mhm.
Diddy's locked up, he's not even worth $1 billion anymore. Why would Kanye put his neck on the line to help Diddy?
Maybe the people behind the scenes is telling them, help my man make the money back.
Okay, so he got his slap on the wrist. Now they're like, we're gonna bring you back in, but watch yourself. But I'm still angry at you, but I still love you. Come on, don't make me whoop your. But come on,
Don't be a
like I
bad
would
little
talk to
boy.
my daughter.
Tell him, don't be a bad boy. Don't be a bad boy.
Oh my God, you're the best.
And
All
Stop,
right,
stop getting strange when you're
yo,
acting crazy.
yo,
For
yo, this dude is such a bad boy that the Swingers Association, just in case y'all don't know, because this is new for me, right? Swingers Association. Swingers Association is a nationwide association for swingers. Swingers are couples, in case you don't know, you've been living under a rock somewhere, that
Mhm.
get with other couples and they do switches and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Puffy is so bad they don't want their name associated with him.
Yeah, because you got to realize the things that he did. It shuns a bad name on any reputation, on any organization. So you gotta walk with like you're walking on thin ice with him.
Mm.
You don't know if he's gonna jump out the window at any time.
Yeah, you don't want to be associated with that dude. All right. So the judge wants like cases to decide sentencing. Well, that means in English, real quick, from my lawyer 101. I don't really know law, but I understood this a little bit. He wants cases that people would charge similarly to the Mann Act, which is trafficking prostitutes over state lines. So people that have been tried for that have no criminal background, which they call light cases because it's like him, like you did nothing before, and this is what you're being charged with, to decide what a accurate sentencing should be. Do you believe that's going to help or hurt him?
I think the people behind the scenes is going to help him.
So it's going to help him because the judge is only doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
But I would like to point out that not granting bail when she was denied, what, 5 times now? But after the charges, he was denied bail. And that's not standard for the Mann Act. Normally, for the Mann Act, you can get bail.
Well,
So
he's lucky the booty's not going to get touched. That's the best
he's like,
way.
you can't come out your room, but you can. I'm gonna let you read a book. I'm gonna let you play a game, but you can't come out the room.
That's right. Because see all the functions that he missed this summer. He missed a lot of functions he would have been at. And I know it eats him up because he's watching it in a cell with his friends, his roommates, his bunkies. You know?
I was gonna say booty buddies, but no Diddy. All right. So, so Diddy's daughters are like, all right, we ain't waiting on daddy no more. We're gonna make this money. They started their own clothing line. They didn't give a warning to Jaguar right, like, yo, keep running your mouth. Like his daughters is stepping up and being gangster. These little girls don't know nothing about that, man. They don't know nothing about that life.
You know,
Jaguars, so I mean, they threaten him with lawyers. They're not threatening to take it to the streets.
imagine them little girls going to the street. They get mopped. They would get mopped. They're not built like that yet.
Well, didn't his sons want to jump who was it? The one that's helping him out. They wanted to jump him, the Brandy's little brother. They tried to jump him.
Oh, Ray J.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I agree. Ray J's. But
I,
Chef Jordan. She changed a lot of things. Did you see the video that Chef Jordan did?
no, I didn't.
So Chef Jordan was Diddy's chef. She's a celebrity chef. She works for a lot of celebrities. She works for Diddy quite often. Chef Jordan came on YouTube and she did the short. She said, yo, I was convinced. She said, y'all didn't know Cassie. Y'all didn't know these women. He R-worded them. I know them. My best friend, or my very close friend, your camera's off. He did these things. He R-worded them. I believe them. She said she was going to testify, but prosecution didn't want her because she was like, yo, y'all are trying the wrong case. Y'all ain't gonna win with this. You need to say what he was doing to me. You need to say they're doing with the people that work for him. They ain't gonna care what he's doing to his girlfriend. Talk about what he did to his employees. And prosecution didn't want to hear that. And she said that's why she wasn't allowed to testify. Which is interesting. Like she said, what she went through, y'all convicted him. And she said, she talked about some stuff, but that's what she said. Ice, you with me, baby? I can't see you. Talk to me. And just like that, he gone. Well, anyway, until he comes back, I'm going to continue and probably wrap up soon. Diddy is shifting his assets to his children. I think he's worried that being that he was convicted of a felony at the federal level, they're going to try and take his stuff. What that means, they can actually be like, well, you use this and it was a part of, I don't know if they can do that because he didn't get the RICO, but the Mann Act, there's rumors that they might be able to. So he's putting this stuff in other people's names and his children's names, trying to make sure that they can't just take his things. I think it's a savvy move. I agree with it. There was an alternate juror named George. He came on and he fooled me along with a lot of other people. He was telling these incredible, not true, untrue stories. He said they didn't know who was going to be jurors or alternate jurors till last minute. Completely false. He said that they was discussing the case and that because they were discussing the case, they already had decided before they even got the orders that the stuff that they were saying didn't sound like a RICO, and that they had already decided that he was innocent. George the juror put this conviction in jeopardy because you can't retry him for the things that he got off on. He's innocent. That's it. It's called double jeopardy. You can't retry somebody twice. However, the things he got off on, well, wait a minute, y'all was discussing the case before it was over? Nah. I want a retrial. I want to appeal this on the grounds that there was a misconduct on the parts of the jury where they were instructed not to talk about the case until it was over. So you wasn't supposed to listen to outside sources or talk about it inside. How you going to talk about it and come to a decision? You ain't hear all the evidence. So this talk that they might appeal this and there might be a mistrial based on the fact that this alternate juror, George, is running his mouth, even though the stuff he's saying apparently is not accurate or true. So he lied about not knowing if he was a main juror or not. He said he works for the UN and did not work for law enforcement, which is impossible. Another thing he did, alternate juror George lied about. He was like, I work for the UN, but I've never worked directly with law enforcement. And according to sources at the UN, you cannot work at the UN and not deal with law enforcement. They go hand in hand or hand in glove. The glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Apparently, this alternate juror lied in order to make it onto the case as a type of juror, even if it's an alternate. So because he lied, this is yet again, first of all, it proves that you can't trust what he's saying. Secondly, it proves that this case wasn't done correctly because he should have been dismissed based off the fact that he works with law enforcement. And if he was in there talking about the case, he messed the entire case up. Diddy might get an appeal and get off still. That very well might happen. We don't know. Sentencing is October 3rd. I'm going to go to the courts. I'm going to be outside when it happens. I'm going to be reporting from there. We will see. Will he get the other charges, including weapons, illegal drugs? So another question is, so he got off from a lot of the things that he was doing, right? They got him for that. I mentioned all of the murders that he was involved with, but they also had guns with serial numbers scraped off. They had other things going on as well. So the question then becomes, why didn't they try him for that? Hold on, Ice Water's calling me back. He should be in. All right, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, my phone I don't know, it just went blank.
So come back in.
All right, I'm going right there.
All right. Even though this is almost over, I'll let him get his little shine with us right quick if he comes back in, because I have to say, I am blown away at the amazing stories that we get to hear from Ice Water. Like, I'm hoping he gets in quickly. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap it because I've held y'all captive long enough. I appreciate all the support. I would like to be able to bring him back in as we wrap up. But if we can't, I'm not going to keep you guys. Thank y'all for coming in. I'm trying to get him in. All right. Well, I'm going to finish this up if he doesn't come in because it's getting late. So he had weapons that was scraped off. Like he scraped the serial numbers off of weapons. They found these weapons in his closet in his mansion in Florida. These are felony charges. Why did he not bring these up? If they was really trying to get him, you got him for attempt murder, you got him for murder, you got weapons. If this body's on them guns, everybody on the gun is 7 years. Like, why didn't you get him for like real stuff? He's got tons of illegal drugs sitting around. Okay, distribution, you're wilding for that. you're not going to get me for passing a drug. But if you got a copious amount of drugs sitting there, pass a certain amount, that's a felony. Like, if I got an ounce of weed, if I got an ounce of coke, you give me a slap on the wrist. If I got a pound of coke, if I got a kilo, if I got a cake, like, if I got a kilo of coke, you're not gonna be like, oh, you was having sex. I'm sorry, but it's absurd. If I got a kilo of coke sitting in when the cops kick the door in, they're not gonna be like, oh, we're arresting you for orgies. I promise. So they have all these drugs. They have weapons with the serial number scraped off, and we're hearing about baby oil. Yo, hold up, wait, let me get this right. So y'all came in and walked past the drugs. Y'all walked past y'all picked up the guns with the serial number scraped off, and the rest of because had baby oil. Yeah, you had a lot of it. What, bruh? All right. So it does not appear that they were legitimately trying to put him in jail for the rest of their life because there were so many other things: murders, attempted murders, shooting people, serial number scraped off, drugs. There were so many different things they could have arrested him for. And they got him for having too much baby oil. Oh my God. Yo, he's got carotene. They got fentanyl probably, but they got him for baby oil because, ice is back. All right. Oh man, he came back because I was about to wrap. We'll go a few more minutes because Ice is here. Woo! I gotta repeat that for him. I want to hear his input on this because he is exciting to listen to. I enjoy having Ice here. All right. So what I was saying to the listeners, you said that they wanted to give him a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
They didn't go after the murder. They didn't go after the attempt murder. They didn't go after the weapons that they found in the Florida house with the scraped off serial numbers. They ignored them. They get them for you gotta hit this. Passing drugs and trying to get them for distribution was silly. But if you have a certain amount of drugs, it's a felony. What I was saying was, yo, if I have an ounce of weed, if I have an ounce of coke, that's a lot of cocaine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a
Right.
felony. But if I have a kilo, if I'm sitting there with a cake, if y'all walk in and it's like, this is closer. Like I got a cake, I can't even pick it up. Damn. If I have a kilo, if I have a cake of if I have a kilo of coke, like yo, even if I'm not intending to sell it, you're gonna charge me for a felony now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that how the law works on my bucket?
No, you're not. It's in your
So
it's in your possession. That's why.
possession's
And but
nine-tenths of the
and,
law.
but their law is kind of twisted. So,
So they had him for attempt murder. I don't know what you call shooting somebody in the face. I'll call that. I'll leave that attempt murder. I don't know what all them
hmm
bullet holes in Tupac was in Quad Studios. I'll call that attempt murder. All
hmm
of, they had him for scraped off serial numbers on guns, which is a felony. They had him for all them drugs. I just named 5 different things. So why are we listening to how much baby oil was in his closet?
they want to
Like,
make sure they want to make sure he's moist.
mm-mm. Oh God, that was gross. So it does appear that you're right. It appears that if they really wanted him, they'd have charged him with something real. Because we
hmm
just went through a whole list of stuff that he could have really been charged for.
hmm
Like attempt murder, possession, um, what is it? I don't know the charge for having guns scraped off serial numbers. Probably, oh well, yes I do. It's oh shoot. It's forged, it's I forget what it's called. I do know the charge. It's not coming to me. But he has the guns without with the serial number
Firearms.
scraped off. I'm sorry.
hmm I said firearms.
Yeah, yeah, but with this, like the gun's illegal, especially in Florida. Florida, anybody can walk around with a gun. All you need is a
hmm
driver's license.
hmm
But the serial number is scraped unless you're a felon. The serial numbers being scraped off is illegal anyway. It's a felony or it's an automatic felony.
Right.
So you have all of this stuff you can legitimately like, yo, you can't argue the serial numbers being scraped off. You can't lawyer your way out of that. You can't look. The feds busted in. The drugs was everywhere. You can't lawyer your way out of this. And we're hearing about baby oil. I think you're right. I think that if they wanted to lock him up, like for real, he'd be in jail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, because
Yeah.
based on the things that we have the actual evidence for, this case didn't make sense. And these are the things, especially the murders, especially the Biggie and Pac. These are iconic superstars in hip hop. If it wasn't for Biggie and Pac, hip hop would not be what it is to this day. They took hip hop to the next level and made it global.
Mm-hmm.
People want to know if Puffy is responsible for their murder, for their unaliving. I'm bugging. And we're hearing about baby oil. It's disgusting. But so what you're saying is if he behaves himself, we'll never know.
That's true.
Do you think they'll ever, if he acts up, do you think they're gonna just use the scraped off serial numbers and the possession, or do you think we're gonna get to hear some answers to some of these questions that we've never got a chance to hear the answer to?
I'll say this. Let's go to OJ. Now he got off after all that time he did. He got off. But then later he got himself involved in some other crap and they gave him more time when to put him back in jail for a long time. All I can say is that let's relate that to what's happening with Diddy. Diddy, you're sitting in your jail cell now. This is your chance
You
to
gotta pay
calm
attention to your
down.
phone, bro.
Yeah, you gotta calm down because the naked eye is watching. The brother is watching. They're watching.
Yo,
So you need
Crizzy
to.
is funny. I'm sorry. Crizzy said, I mean, the baby oil makes headlines. He's
Hmm.
the person we learned about in adding class with that many bottles of anything. They were only trying to scare him. Oh, she agrees with you.
Hmm.
She says they're just trying to scare him. If they was really trying
Hmm.
to get him, they'd have got him. They would have done something more
That's
than
right.
this. So this is the think tank. We use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, and common sense, sometimes a little inductive reasoning. In this case, deductive reasoning is when you take all the pieces of the puzzle and you put the pieces together and see the big picture that the puzzle is. Inductive
Hmm.
reasoning is when you look at something and say, in order for this to have happened, this, and this had to happen to get there. For instance, if you walk and you see a car in the street that had an accident,
Hmm.
and you see the car's all, or you see a car that's all banged up, you have to assume that it either hit something or something hit it, and that's why it got the hits. You can see the
Right.
results and denote the possibilities that occurred in order to get those results. While deductive reasoning, you would say, well, I'm the reason I'm doing this YouTube right now is because I like to talk, or you say, Diddy's probably innocent, or no, Diddy's probably guilty because he's done so many other things. Is he guilty of
Hmm.
murder? We don't know, but if you look at the fact that he had scraped off serial numbers, you had Tupac who feels like he was shot, you had Natanya Harding who says he shot him, you have Shine who said he took the blame. He probably, looking at the facts of the things that have happened before, you can deduce, you can put together through deductive reasoning that he is the type that will shoot somebody. So for him to kill somebody falls within the realm of possibility.
On that
Okay,
note,
we got to
I'd have to say, hmm, I'd have to say
go.
it could. He could because the power got him so drunk he believed he could do anything, and that's when you have a compulsive serial killer because the power is too strong for him, and it's just overwhelming him. So this timeout, they gave it to him to calm him down, and they're gonna wait. If he does something really stupid, he'll be back in the pokey.
Do you think that
So
if he does something really stupid, they'll put him in and we'll find out what happened to Big and Pac?
I think other people's gonna find out what Pac. I don't think they're gonna find it through
You don't think he's
Diddy.
responsible for Pac? You think he was responsible for
Mm,
Big, but you don't think he's responsible for Pac? Honest.
honestly, I it's 50-50. You know,
I'll go for that.
I can't sit here and say yes, because remember, we live on a different coast. But then you have to realize that money wise, he's on a different coast, all coast. So I can't say that
And then there's that
unless.
Keefe D thing.
Hmm.
You do have somebody sitting in jail right now because
Hmm.
he testified and wrote a book about how Puffy paid him to kill Tupac. And
Hmm.
the authorities believe him because he's sitting in jail.
Hmm.
Is that? I want to touch some of these comments right quick because we're going to wrap soon. So
Yes, sir.
Emily says that the one story about the party, it never made sense till now. Right?
Hmm.
Because he was in there with like, yeah, because of the whole Sean thing. And J Lo,
Hmm.
she's definitely like, yo, J Lo snuck that gun in the club, allegedly. I'm thinking possibly that
Hmm.
if a dude like that's generally how dudes sneak stuff in because women ain't gonna get searched. You're gonna get tapped down. I'm checking
Hmm.
under your hood. I'm checking in your collar. The woman, I'm gonna look in her bag.
Hmm.
Because as soon as I try and search her, I mean, I'm gonna like I'm gonna pat her arms and all that. But if she can hold it right in her bra, and she's gonna walk in and be fine.
Hmm.
Diddy silence says more than William said. Diddy silence says more than any statement could. Um, yeah, word. I'm not testifying. Would you like to testify? No, I ain't getting cross-examined. You're right. Smart man. Michael says the industry has been protecting people for decades. What?
Hmm.
Yo, you saw what Ike did to Tina? What's love got to do? He's the singer, not me. But, like, yo, like, Ike beat Tina. Like, yeah, for decades. That's just what it was. Beating on women is part of that industry. Lots of drugs, guns. That's how the industry works. So it has since I knew of an industry. And finally, John
Hmm.
again. The truth always finds the light. I hope so. I really would like to know if Puffy's responsible. As it stands right now, we only have speculation. And in truth, if they don't really try the case, we'll never know. We want to know what happened. They talking about some baby oil. It is what it is. All right, so we're gonna wrap soon, man. Anything you want to tell the people before we get up out of here?
Keep away from the baby oil, because you could slip and bust a
Ah,
lip.
you can slip and end up in. You can slip and get Diddy.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that. Because
All
Diddy
right,
looks like he goes in any way he wants. So keep the baby oil on the shelf, and you'll be all right.
and if you live in a town with Diddy, get baby oil as fast as you can if you need it because supplies are gonna
Diddy's
be low.
buying it all up. He's buying it all up. Hmm.
All right, what's this? The way they're connecting the dots is crazy. Oh, thank you. All right, we're gonna get ready to get out of here. I want to tell y'all, me and Ice is gonna have a different channel. I'm starting a different channel. Ice is gonna be my co-host. We're gonna be doing an entertainment channel. We're gonna be talking about all things in entertainment. It won't be this heavy. The cases we're gonna still cover here because this is the news channel. We're gonna start an entertainment channel. I will be posting links once it started so that y'all can find out, keep abreast of what's going on in the industry, find out about up and coming people, find out some things from the past. Like Ice is kicking it with y'all every episode y'all see. He's got mouth watering stories that had me just sitting there listening with my mouth hanging open like I'm trying to catch them flies. If you like the channel and you like what we're talking about and want to see more of this, please like, share. If you want to become part of the critical thinking community, if you want to tap in and be able to put your own comments, because soon we're going to make it so that we're going to have. Oh, what was that? Why is everyone afraid to talk until it's too late? Because allegedly Diddy's killing them and they don't want to die. I have I have the person that wrote the Kim Porter book. I am speaking to them on a frequent basis. She is not. She didn't come out because she was afraid that Puffy would kill her. That's what she was afraid. Everything in that book was a lie. She made it up. And she didn't want to come out because she was afraid of Puffy. She's coming out now. I'm the first person she's talking to. I'm sure she's going to talk to other podcasters. She said she liked my work. I'm grateful. But the reason nobody talks is because they think Puffy's going to kill him, apparently. She was afraid, but she's not afraid no more. So maybe it's wrong. I don't know. But just so y'all know, the Kim Porter book is fake. There will be more news on that. I'm gonna bring in the evidence. I'm gonna bring them receipts. If you want to become a part of the critical thinking community, please share, like, subscribe. The subscription means you hear about everything we're doing. You hear about our lives. You hear about every time we drop a video. We drop shorts on a daily basis. We're about to increase the frequency of our lives because we like talking to y'all. It's fun to get in here. I know I enjoy this as much as me. I enjoy hearing the stories. I enjoy being a part of a community where we could talk about these things that I got going on in my head. Now I can talk about it with people. And I love getting to talk with y'all. Love to hear what y'all got to say, get to share with everybody. So subscribe, become part of the community. Ice, anything you want to add in before we tap out?
I was going to tell you a story about
Fire
when
away.
I went to Philadelphia, and I was on a panel with me, um, a father MC, the youngsters. There was another, and it's a girl group, and we were all on the panel, and we were talking our truths to the people that were there that day. And I think I was. They said I was one of the first people to start talking about stuff that I'm talking about now.
Mm.
And they would say, wow, man, I didn't know you was because I don't carry myself like I was incarcerated.
No, you
Um,
don't. I never knew until you said it on this show, and I've known you 20 years, 30 years, something
and
like
I,
that.
I didn't know it neither, but I was. But um, Father MC, cool guy, cool guy. But
I was a fan. He was a
it
dope
was more
rapper.
of it was more of
I could see you in the room with him. I would have loved to hear that wrongs. Been in that cipher.
that'd have been a
Shh.
nice situation. But he couldn't mess with me. He couldn't mess with me. I'm a different breed. No, 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 no. Because I tell people I studied a group, but I studied each one of them for their styles, just like a kung fu master. He studied this one because he sword play. This one because his knuckle game. This one because of that. And that's how I became who I am. Because I studied five different people. I loved all of them. But one of them, he was a beast beyond beast. He had the greatest voice, but he was a beast. Other guy, he had that suave molo voice. That's the one I copied myself behind, and it came out pretty decent. And I can say this to you. Let me drop a jewel real quick. I stay up like a black box on handcuffs up north. Spit lyrics, the body, and the heat talk. Come on. Scale niggas at the grab the moon, bucket slide. Let me cop in thighs. Mommy open wide. Let me bust gushing. Meow. I spit it like I did it. Win it if I'm in it. Face the bitches, the sisters, spit lines, chemistry. So mama rock, your power use on my eye. SUV recline, CD, DVD, porno less than greed, cheddar cheese, onion dipping on your knees. Born the skis, bubble bees. I put a nigga slow, but ain't no road game. This is what happened. Bring my dates, codeine and cocaine. I'm trying to not cuss. That's why you hear me messing up a little bit. All I want y'all to know is that we coming. We coming. We coming like a monsoon. I never quit, never stopped, never got a pause in me. Like people pause. Nah, I didn't pause. It's just that you go through a lot of different channels. I'm gonna tell you what this guy said to me one time. He said, "Yo, Ice, you got in this music game easy this time." Because when I came in, I told you, first demo I had a record deal. But you have to work.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, they said, but this one you have to work for it. And you know, funny, he's right. I had to work for it since then. It's not hurting me because I enjoy the what you call it, the challenge. It's a challenge. Now I'm hearing people speed rhyme it, but don't mean nothing. You just speed rhyme it. That don't mean you should really say anything, you know. But when it comes down to it, it's all back to what you say, the rhyme. You know, it's the rhyme, baby. The rhyme got to be tight, baby. You know. Shout out to my man Mikey D. If you
Gotta
know
have
who
him
he is.
on, man. Gotta have him on. But
I try.
if you want to hear more of stuff like this, it's gonna be on the entertainment channel. That's where we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk about things like this on a consistent. On this one, we're gonna, for the most part, keep it to the news. I like to hear some of these stories here too, though. It makes it so that you understand who ICE is, so that you understand the expertise that you're getting when you hear from his perspective. You're hearing it from an industry insider. But for tonight, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna call it. I want to thank you coming, Ice Water. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you for your support. Please again, like, share, subscribe. This is Leo.